The Attorney General of Indiana said he would now investigate an abortion doctor who provided health care to a 10-year-old who was raped and impregnated. Here's Todd Rokita.
Then we have this abortion activist acting as a doctor with a history of failing to report. So we're gathering the information, we're gathering the evidence as we speak, and we're going to fight this to the end, including looking at our licensure.
That's fascist talk, my friends. Now, this is a rapid escalation, given that just a day earlier, conservative media was denying the story even happened. Earlier this month, the Indy Star published details about a 10-year-old who was raped in Ohio and denied access to abortion care following the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision. The child and her parents had to go to Indiana to get the procedure. The story was even talked about in a speech by President Biden. Reactionaries immediately disputed it. As the right takes power in this country, their supporters, who still like to remain in polite company, will try to deny the horrors that are being unleashed. Conservative outlet PJ Media ran this headline, quote, "Viral pregnant 10-year-old rape victim, abortion horror story deserves a deeper look." The website claimed there were major inconsistencies. This week, the Wall Street Journal editorial page claimed the story was, quote, "too good to be true." Really not sure what about a rape of a 10-year-old is good, but there are some real sickos at the Wall Street Journal. That's for sure. Glenn Kessler, the fact checker at the Washington Post, also disputed the story. He went to great lengths to attempt to identify the 10-year-old victim, and when he couldn't get the minor's name, he claimed the story must not have been true. Jonathan Turley at the New York Post also disbelieved it and claimed there were glaring questions. And then here was Tucker Carlson on his show this week.
Why did the Biden administration, speaking of lying, just repeat a story about a 10-year-old child who got pregnant and then got an abortion or was not allowed to get an abortion when it turns out the story was not true? And by the way, when a 10-year-old gets pregnant, the first question is not, how do we get rid of the kid? The first question is, where's the rapist? Where's the rapist?
Well, the story was true, and they found the rapist. On Wednesday, the Indy Star reported that a man in Ohio was charged for the rape of the 10-year-old. Time for a bunch of mea culpas, right? Wrong. Conservative blogger Glenn Greenwald, who also questioned the accuracy of the story, signaled what the conservative pivot will look like now that they were proven wrong. Simply shift the story to the scourge of immigration. The man charged with the rape is an undocumented immigrant. And also shift the story to just prosecuting the abortion provider, as the Indiana Attorney General is now threatening to do. This is dark as hell. These are disgusting people whose mothers should have exercised their right to choose. Take care of each other, friends. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.